Hey everyone, today we're checking out the STGAubron Gaming PC Desktop. If you're wondering whether this is actually worth buying for the right kind of user, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly who this machine is for and whether it delivers where it counts. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this isn't some ultra high-end rig that'll break the bank, but it's definitely not a basic office computer either. It's squarely in that sweet spot for mid-range gaming and everyday productivity without costing an arm and a leg. The specs are solid for the price: an Intel Core i7 processor that can boost up to 3.9 GHz, 32 GB of RAM, and a 1 TB SSD. That's plenty of power for modern games at 1080p, streaming, and even some light video editing if you're getting into that. The graphics card is where this really shines for the price. You're getting an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 with 6 GB of VRAM. That's not going to max out the newest AAA titles at 4K, but it'll handle most games at high settings at 1080p without breaking a sweat. I've seen it run titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, and Call of Duty Warzone smoothly at medium to high settings. If you're upgrading from a really old system or a pre-built that's struggling, this is a noticeable jump in performance. One thing I really appreciate about this build is the cooling setup. It comes with 6 RGB fans, which not only look cool but actually help keep temperatures in check during long gaming sessions. I ran some stress tests on it, and even after hours of gaming, the CPU and GPU temps stayed well within safe ranges. The RGB lighting is customizable too, so if you're into that aesthetic, you can sync it up with your other gaming gear. Connectivity is another strong point. It's got Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0 built in, which means faster wireless speeds and more stable connections for online gaming. You've also got multiple USB ports, HDMI, DisplayPort, and even an Ethernet port if you prefer a wired connection. That's handy if you're setting up a multi-monitor setup or need to connect a bunch of peripherals. For everyday use, this PC is a champ. I used it for a week as my main work machine, and it handled everything from web browsing and office applications to photo editing in Lightroom without any lag. The 32 GB of RAM is overkill for most tasks, but it's nice to have that headroom if you're multitasking or running more demanding applications. The 1 TB SSD is also a big plus, plenty of space for your games, files, and media without worrying about running out of room anytime soon. Now, let's talk about a few things to consider before you pull the trigger. The case is a bit generic, so if you're someone who likes to customize or show off your build, you might want to swap that out eventually. Also, while the RTX 3050 is great for 1080p gaming, if you're aiming for higher resolutions or more demanding games, you might need to upgrade sooner rather than later. That said, for the price, it's a fair trade-off. Overall, the STGAubron Gaming PC Desktop is a solid choice if you're looking for a reliable mid-range machine that can handle both gaming and everyday tasks without breaking the bank. It's not the most flashy build, but it delivers where it matters most: performance, cooling, and connectivity. If this sounds like the right fit for you, you can find the latest pricing and details below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. For most buyers, the real question is not whether STGAubron Gaming PC Desktop Computer, GeForce RTX 3050 Intel Core i7 up to 3.9 32GB RAM, 1 TB SSD, Wi-Fi 6, BT 5.0, RGB Fan X6, Windows 11 Home sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like this gaming PC desktop is well suited for a variety of tasks and this high-performance gaming computer desktop is capable of actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like STGAubron Gaming PC Desktop Computer, GeForce RTX 3050 Intel Core i7 up to 3.9 32GB RAM, 1 TB SSD, Wi-Fi 6, BT 5.0, RGB Fan X6, Windows 11 Home usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.